caught my wife coming home at 3 a.m., reeking of another man's cologne. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She just laughed in my face and told me he treated her better than I ever had. So I gave her 20 minutes to pack her things and get out of my house. I thought that was rock bottom. I was wrong. My name is Vincent Cole. I'm 40 years old, and I own a freight company in Denver, Colorado. I built it from nothing. One beat-up truck, long nights on the road, missed birthdays and dinners. 15 years later, I had 7 rigs running routes across multiple states. The money was finally good, but it came at a massive cost. Time. I met Bridget in 2010. She was 22, bright, energetic, working as a dental assistant. We married fast. We had Oliver 4 years later and Lily 2 years after that. When Lily was born, Bridget said she wanted to stay home with the kids. I worked even harder to make that possible, believing I was doing the right thing for my family. The warning signs crept in quietly. Late nights out. A book club that somehow happened twice a week. Yoga sessions that lasted half a day. Charges on our account from upscale restaurants I'd never been to. When I asked about them, she brushed me off. I trusted her. Then Oliver asked me a question that hit harder than any bank statement ever could. "Daddy, why is Mommy always gone?" I stopped ignoring my gut. 2 weeks before everything exploded. I got home early and found Bridget laughing on the phone in a way I hadn't heard in years. She hung up the second she saw me. Said it was her friend Kelly. That night she slept with her back turned, her phone clenched in her hand like a secret weapon. Last Thursday, I told her I'd be working late. Instead, I parked down the street and waited. At 7:30 p.m., Bridget walked out wearing a black dress I'd never seen before. I followed her downtown to an upscale steakhouse. Through the window, I watched her slide into a booth with a man in an expensive suit. They laughed. They touched hands. They leaned in close. I took photos. Then I went home, put the kids to bed, and waited. At 2:43 a.m., her headlights swept across the living room wall. I stayed seated in the dark. She came in smiling, checking her phone. When I cleared my throat, she jumped, then laughed it off. "What are you doing sitting in the dark?" she asked. "It's almost 3 in the morning," I said calmly. She rolled her eyes. "Book club ran late." "What book?" I asked. She froze. I stepped closer and smelled the cologne. It wasn't mine. I showed her the photos. The panic lasted about 5 seconds. Then her expression hardened. "His name is Derek," she said. "And he treats me like I matter." "How long?" I asked. "Months," she replied without shame. "And maybe if you were actually here, I wouldn't have needed someone else." I asked if she'd slept with him. "Yes," she said. "And it was better than anything you've given me." That was the exact moment my marriage ended. "Pack your things," I said. "You're leaving," she laughed, told me I couldn't kick her out. I walked into the closet, grabbed a suitcase, and handed it to her. 20 minutes, I said. "Start now." She went upstairs, slamming drawers. My hands were shaking, but my resolve was solid. Then Oliver came downstairs in his dinosaur pajamas. "Daddy," he whispered, "why is Mommy mad?" I knelt and told him Mommy was going on a trip, that he and Lily were staying with me, that everything would be okay. Behind me, Bridget stood frozen on the stairs. I stepped in front of Oliver, blocking her from reaching him. "You made your choice," I told her quietly. "Now live with it." She left before the timer ended. The house felt empty, but somehow lighter. The next morning, Bridget's father, Walter, called. He wanted the truth. I told him everything. There was a long silence before he spoke. "Get a lawyer, Vincent," he finally said. "And know this, I'm on your side." 2 days later, Bridget showed up with her mother, Diane, demanding access to the kids. Diane blamed me for the affair. She said I worked too much, said a woman has needs. I told them both to leave. That night, Walter called again. "This isn't Bridget's first affair," he admitted. "She cheated in college. Diane covered for her. That explained everything. 3 weeks into the divorce, my lawyer uncovered something worse. Medical records showed Bridget had terminated a pregnancy 18 months earlier without telling me. The timeline didn't add up to my schedule. Then the DNA test came back. Lily wasn't biologically mine. The room spun. 2 years of loving her, raising her, being her father, and she wasn't mine by blood. But she was mine in every way that mattered. I'm not abandoning her, I told my lawyer. She stays with me. At the custody hearing, everything came out, the affair, the deception, the paternity lie. Walter testified against his own daughter for the sake of the kids. The judge awarded me primary custody of both children. Bridget got supervised visits only. I walked out of that courtroom with my kids and my dignity intact. 9 months later, life was stable again. Oliver was thriving. Lily still called me daddy. The business was growing. The chaos was finally gone. One afternoon at the park, I ran into an old friend, Rachel. We talked, we laughed, we exchanged numbers. For the first time in years, I felt genuine hope. Bridget didn't just betray me. She showed me exactly what I deserved and what I refused to tolerate, and learning that boundary made all the difference. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe for more stories of rebuilding.